What's going on, guys? My name is Doug. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, welcome back. If you're not new, today we're listening to ZUU by Denzel Curry. It took me a little bit to finally get to it, but I explained the reason why I've been kind of missing in the last video that I dropped. Hope you guys are enjoying that. It's the reaction to the Tabby EP. Hope you all are showing some love and enjoying the hell out of that video. So, yeah, like I said, today we're listening to ZUU by Denzel Curry, and, you know, he's just an artist who always brings the heat. He always brings the flames, always brings so much great delivery and passion and energy in his music. So I'm really just expecting this album to bump. I'm expecting some really heavy, insane beats. You know, he's extremely creative. Taboo was one of the top albums last year. It was in my top 10. It was in a lot of people's top 5. It was a lot of people's album of the year, actually. It was really creative and separation into 3 acts, and they all felt distinctly different from the last. You know, it was really cool execution. So we all know that he's very talented, that what he's capable of. We know that he's one of the OG SoundCloud rappers. He's been doing this for a long time, and he's finally getting the recognition that he deserves. So I'm excited to listen to this. I hope you're all excited to be here and watching this video. And, you know, let's just get right into it. I feel like that's enough of an introduction. First track is ZUU. Let's get it.
On my bed, I'm feeling like a Martian pool. Pocket full of Carol City, nigga, boy, I'm coming out the.
Whoa! This is lit.
Grab a tech, leave you wet, and go check in the cut like Gillette, where they swear, call your bluff and make a check. Until innocent or as Einstein.
Yeah, I like the flow.
Carol City raised me. Trick said I'm a.
This hook's kind of wavy, bro. Yo, I love the melodies in the background. Sounds really cool. It sounds like a distorted guitar. Really dope, the way they executed that. The percussion was great. The 808 is super heavy.
Hey, yo, Rick, man, what's good, man?
Yo, that main melody either sounds like it samples feedback, or it sounds like it's a very distorted guitar that's been pitched up. It could be a flute with some filters on it, you know, just so many different ways to try and emulate that sound that was used for the melody. But all I'm trying to say is that it's really dope and it's creative. It sounds haunting and creepy and scary, and it's super fire, you know. I think that the percussion on this is great. The bass is super heavy. It really adds, you know, the punch, the energy. And then, of course, his delivery helps with that even more. You know, the fact that he's yelling on the end of the hook. I like the way that the hook builds up from a very soft singing tone to a screaming tone. The verse that's on here is really fire. It's definitely a very energetic introduction to the project, so that makes me excited to listen to the rest. So I'd say it's a great intro. Whoa! That was a hard left.
Ricky said, never let nobody get the one up on you. If they run up with the day one homies that was here before you started.
Oh, it's so real. I'm not digging this pre-chorus. This is it though. And I've been making waves lately from the stone chick. Rate of fit, that was it. We was hit. Y'all wasn't even shit. Yeah. The production's great. Yeah, man, I really like the production on this. I don't really like the pre-chorus. It's just not really for me. It's got that cowbell in it. It's got a whole different vibe to it. But from the chorus into the verse, man, it's just ridiculous. The melody in the beat is insane. The bass is like a slap in the face. His delivery and the flow is really interesting and different than what we're normally used to. You know, he doesn't have a very simple, easy to copy flow. It's definitely his unique style, his unique sound with his delivery and his performance on this track. So, you know, I'm digging it, man, and I love the energy that comes with it. The only critique that I would have is that pre-chorus. So, you know, that's a dope track too. There's a really cool 90s vibe here, but incorporating very modern elements from modern music into it. But I feel like the sampling, the little bells, it's all so old school. It's got a really cool, fresh feel to it. And it's funny how older vibes feel fresh nowadays, even though they're older. Again, it's really interesting to listen to. It's very well executed. It still sounds like a Denzel Curry track, which is what I really enjoy about him and the production on his music. You know, he's very creative with it, but at the same time, it never loses his essence on the track. I miss my role, so The guitar is so wavy. And check the versatility out. It's great, man. This is feel good music. The Moog bass with the horns is so classic. I love the tone to his voice. Yeah, man, again, the versatility on the hook is tremendous. He can sing, he can add that really bright tone to his voice while he's performing the hooks, but at the same time, whenever the beat drops and he wants to be super aggressive and in your face, he can do that as well. He's such a talented artist, man, and it stands out on tracks like these that sound different from what we normally get from him. But again, it's such a breath of fresh air listening to him do different styles and different sounds, but at the same time maintaining what makes the tracks his. You know, it's indescribable the way that he does it, you know? And the feature was really dope too. It definitely felt like it fit the track very well. So, yeah, man, all good things to say about that. Next track is Birds with a Z, so you know the birds are cool. Whoa, dude. What is that, like, siren in the background? Oh my god. Yeah. Able to sell it now. Fear none. And if you ain't got well, I don't give a fuck. Won't be. This is great.
Maybach music.
Rick Ross, let's go.
Raps in the Cadillac. I got little homie with me, city on that back. Been in the memoir, pray I let it tell it. Never will I tell it, that's considered kettle. Time to plant the seed.
Yeah.
Time to make compost of my enemies.
Love the wordplay. Such an awesome track, so energetic, so aggressive from him and Rick Ross. It's really dope to see, you know, two Florida artists coming together on this track and just going crazy and showing off what they can do. You know, the performances are great, the energy is great, the delivery is great. The flow on that third verse is pretty insane from Denzel Curry. So, you know, it's a really enjoyable listen. I have no idea how they made that siren sound in the background, but man, is it really cool and interesting. I don't know, maybe one day I'll find out and then I'll show you guys how to do it. But right now, I have no idea how they made that. Next track is Automatic. Oh, Tay Keith made this. This is gonna knock.
I gotta have it. I just took a nigga. Round town, you a lick like a stamp, huh? You wanna go round for round, so clean. I ain't had no dough, I was broke, I had no green. Bad dream. I don't being broke cause mama need a crib. I gotta go black, walking around the hood in some holy van. Step inside the club, you in the line like I know that.
Really braggadocious, such a really cool flex track.
Road to riches, gotta look out for the surface. Watch them slither to the surface when they see you. You ain't gang, you ain't crew. See my ways hella strange, cause I'm raised in a zoo.
Yeah.
Made a new account. All this paper, I can't do it out, so give me a large amount.
It's a really dope flex track, man. It goes so hard. The way that he tells his story in this track is really compelling. It's really captivating, you know. The imagery is really great, the way that he does it, the way that he wrote this. It's cool that he's flexing, but he's not just flexing because he's got a bunch of money. He's flexing because of where he came from and where he's at now. He's flexing because of how hard he worked to get here and the success that he earned. You know, he talks about where he came from, talks about the lifestyle that he was living, talks about the gangs that he used to run with, and now he talks about the different lifestyle that he lives. And it's just really interesting to listen to. You know, the fact that he used the pen and started writing raps to get out of that situation. You would never think that on a track that knocks and slaps this hard, somebody would be able to tell such a convincing and captivating story, but he's able to so well, you know. So you get the awesome production that you can throw on in a party, and you get the awesome lyricism that you look for when you listen to lyrical music. So it's got a little something for everybody on that track.
I went from sticking pennies in the jar to offshore bank accounts.
Big talk, speedboat, pray to God I don't get repo. Didn't go to college for free.
You know the beat is fire when you have to look at your speaker to make sure that it's actually real when the beat drops. That piano is so sinister. It's so epic.
I didn't make it to 21, so I gotta make it past 24. Big talk, speedboat, strong like a legend dog. My dog
Love the hums.
21, so I gotta warn me if anybody try to swarm me. Invest in the rock, pile up,
He's so perfectly on beat, it's so satisfying.
And the result is I got hella keys in the phone. I put hella G's in the boat. It took only 3 to a song. What you see in life's illegal.
so awesome, man. This is ridiculously fire.
Put the mask on, even though the jewelry froze. Ice cubes get Debo. Word on the street.
Yo, Debo. Wait a minute.
All black.
Yo, I just realized Ice Cubes get Debo'd, bro. That's great. Oh my god. I caught the Debo reference, but then I reread the line and the Ice Cube, Debo, and the jewelry. Oh my god. That's dope, man. That's a dope line.
Master Anon, pastors and nuns. Let's bow our heads for the ceremony.
This pre-chorus is so haunting and emotional. Yeah, man, talking about how hard it is living in that lifestyle, you know, talking about how dangerous the world around him was when he was younger. I mean, it still is, you know, but that environment was just so dangerous and so toxic all the time. You know, the prayer that he says in the pre-chorus, you can tell how sincere he's being. You can tell the emotions that are going through him when he's, you know, delivering those lines. Jesus, please deliver us from evil. Please pray over all my people. Because at the end of the day, he really just wants to see everyone that he loves safe. And that's not a guarantee every single day when you live the way that he used to. So the beat is ridiculously hard. The piano is so sinister, so cinematic, so epic. The bass is so aggressive. But at the same time, the lyrics are so deep and meaningful and passionate and emotional. So it's just so consistent with him, you know. The music is consistently great. I really like that track, man. That's going to be a standout track, I'm sure. I did not expect that piano to come in. So when I heard that piano drop with the beat, it was unexpected, and it was a really cool surprise. So next track is Bushy B Interlude.
But you wasn't here when I was grinding. Now you wanna talk cause the boy shining. Check the drop, stop, bands and bands, drop
Yo, that guitar is wavy, bro. Really wavy interlude. Definitely, it feels like a breath of fresh air because all the tracks have been so energetic and so upbeat. So having this kind of slower, wavier track is really, you know, it's a cool break. It gives us a little bit of time to breathe a little bit between the really fire and energetic tracks. You know, I wouldn't have minded if this track was a minute longer and had a Travis Scott feature. That's definitely something that I feel is missing from this track. This beat is ridiculously wavy. His ad-libs were really haunting and creepy and really heavy on the reverb, and it reminded me of that Travis Scott sound. So I feel like he really would have definitely made this track a lot better. But you know, it's a minute long, and we get what we get. So, you know, I'm not upset with this. I'm not mad at this at all. I just think about it. Wouldn't Travis Scott have been awesome on this track? Let me know what you think in the comment section.
Hey, listen. Watch what I tell you. Thing good? Yo. All right, Pete. We got to get a few things before we stop by. So, but you don't talk to no more. She said, hey, listen, my nigga. I don't make the invite list. Good news is, little baby that you weren't gonna be there. I told you.
Yeah, man, that was funny. That was a really funny interlude. So apparently they've got this party that they're planning, and they called this dude to get some supplies for him, some drinks for him, and all of that. And basically all the dude said was "yo." It was ridiculously funny. Kind of, you know, apparently that's the way people talk in Miami, and so this is Denzel's way of paying some tribute to his hometown. You know, showing some love to his hometown and the way people talk there. So that's pretty dope. You know, I like that. Next track is Carol Mart.
I was raised off a tree, red and pies. When it comes to that,
I don't really like this beat. Denzel's doing his thing on this, but just the beat's not for me. Yeah, so like I said, Denzel did his thing on this. You know, the lyrics are great, the delivery's great. It's just the beat that's not really for me. You know, I wasn't really feeling the whole vibe to this. You know, you can't win them all, I guess. Next track is Shake 88.
hello?
Yeah, so this one's not for me. I totally see why he made this track. It's definitely for the girls to dance to in the club, and that's okay. You know, it's okay for him to make songs like this. It's okay that he made a song for the ladies to twerk to in the club. It's totally fine. It shows some versatility on his part, you know, because it's not just anybody that can create music like this. So he's showing that he's able to, along with all the other music that he makes. I understand the appeal to it. I understand why it's good, why it's great to some people. I understand why he made it. I understand why he put it on the project. You know, all I'm saying is, it's not for me, so I didn't really like it that much. I'm not mad at it though. I'm not mad that he put this on the project or anything like that. It's not a bad song. It's just not interesting to me. Next is Blackland 66.6. Alright, yeah, so it's like a cool little interlude, like an introduction to the last track of the song, which is called Pat. You know, it's dope. Two dudes sitting in the car, smoking, listening to the radio. Just kind of like sets the premise for, you know, the last song of the project. So let's get it. Last track.
We carry hollow tips cause it reflects what's in my soul.
Alright, so it's a very, extremely aggressive track to finish the project off. Apparently it's called Pat, and it's dedicated to Project Pat in the beginning of his career. You know, completely different sounding from the rest of the project. It's a hard left for sure, but you know, it's a track that has meaning to him. It's a dedication to, you know, something. It's got a purpose behind it, which explains why it sounds so different. So again, since it means something to him, and since he made it for a specific reason, for a very specific reason, I'm not mad at it. It's not for me. It's not one that I'm going to come back and listen to, most likely. You know, it's probably going to be one that I skip. But I'm not going to say that it's bad because, honestly, it was well executed. You know, I understand the appeal of this type of music. You know, the screaming and energetic and heavily distorted. You know, it's almost like heavy metal hip-hop. It's just not my style anymore. I used to listen to music like this, but, you know, nowadays it's just not as appealing to me. But I'm not going to go ahead and say that it's bad because, again, it means something to him and to other people who might listen to this style of music. So he made it for a specific reason, for a specific group of people to enjoy. And so I'm not mad at it, especially since it's at the very end. It's not like he just threw it in the middle of the project. He put it at the end, so, you know, whoever doesn't want to listen to this can just stop after track 10. So yeah, let's talk about this project. Yo, I think that this project is extremely well executed for the most part. You know, when we got after track 8, we got 2 tracks that I didn't enjoy that much, you know, because they weren't for me. They're not bad tracks, you know, tracks 9 and 10, Carol Martin, Shake 88, and Pat. You know, they're just not really for me, but they're not bad songs at all. So for the people that enjoy that type of music, it was very well executed, very well mixed, very well produced. And so, you know, I'm not going to bash those last 3 tracks that I didn't really enjoy that much. But for the most part, all the way up through track 8, very sensational project, very consistent, a lot of variety in the beats. They were all very fire. He added some really dope interludes to kind of let us chill out a little bit in between those really energetic and upbeat tracks. Denzel Curry always brings the energy. He always brings the fire. I'm not disappointed by this at all. I think that this was a really cool breath of fresh air lately because there hasn't been a lot of new music dropping, you know, although we did get some very good drops in the last 2 weeks with this, Igor, and the Injury Reserve album. It's just been a really solid run of new music, so it's really cool to have that kind of like breath of fresh air about midway through the year. So I enjoyed this, man. I thought that this was a really fun listen, and let me know what you guys think about this project in the comments section. You know, it's got tons of energy. It's got tons of great tracks to blast in the club or blast in the car. The bass goes hard on almost all of these tracks. So, you know, Denzel, keep doing your thing, man. You always bring the fire, always bring the energy. So I always enjoy your sound as long as you stick to doing you and doing the music that you want to do. You know, the really hard-hitting beats with the really cool messages and the really great lyrics and the awesome flows, the catchy hooks, the versatility. It all just makes you a very special artist. So this was great. Thank you all so much for watching the video. If you would like to support the channel, consider subscribing to it, following me on my social media, or becoming a patron. That would be a really dope way for you to support this channel and its growth. It helps to create better quality content, and it helps me to create more content consistently. So with that being said, I'll be back in another video very, very soon. Until then, guys, stay safe. Peace out.